So I'm going to call the meeting to order,
Mhm.
and we'll do a silent roll call. Can call the meeting to order at 6:09 p.m. August 20th, 2025. Brabeion Academy Board of Directors. The next item on our agenda is an invocation, which I will quickly offer. So Lord, we just thank you for the opportunity to be here today. Lord, pray that you be with us, guide us as we lead the school, help us to make good choices and good decisions that are led by you. We pray for your blessing upon this school and the students and the faculty and those who participated. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
The next item on the agenda is the pledge. We don't have a flag here, but we can pretend like I'll put one on my phone and we'll do it that way.
Mhm.
Okay. Nope. All right, we'll stand up to the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I have some little tabletop size ones. I'll bring that next time.
Okay.
I just forgot to do that today. I actually kind of thought there might be one here someplace, but there's not.
Yeah, you think they would.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda is approval of the agenda, and I'm going to make a request that we make an amendment. I'll need a motion for that. To add a item to new business, letter I, or letter H, I mean, to be, it will be parliamentary procedure. Rules of parliamentary procedure. So the idea being that we adopt Robert's rules, our official guidelines. Can I get a motion for that, please?
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded. Motion by Director Moore, seconded by Director De Luna. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, the motion's adopted. Now going back to the original motion, which is the approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I do. So move.
Moved by Director Moore. Do I have a second?
A second.
Seconded by Trustee Warden. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I call for a vote. All in favor of approving the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Hearing none, the motion is approved. The agenda is approved as amended. Next item on the agenda is a public comment period. I will now open the public comment period for any who wish to comment.
I see none.
Seeing no public comment, I would now entertain a motion to close public comment.
So move.
In a second.
I second.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The public comment period is now closed. Next item on the agenda is a declaration of appointed board members in terms of appointment. This item is to basically say that we're all being appointed. Our terms of service are for 4 years. I believe that's what is prescribed by the bylaws, and we'll just after this meeting, I'll get those printed up and sent to everybody, and we'll sign them and turn them in and put them on the official record. We'll scan them in and put them on the website.
Okay.
Do I have a motion to approve that action item?
Yes. So move.
Okay. And Tom, just for clarity, can you name the directors that are being appointed?
Yeah, I'm going to do that. You want me to do it now?
Yes, please. As a part of the
The
motion.
first one is a nomination, election of the chair.
No. This is on action item number 7.
Oh.
This is declaration of appointed board members. So we're just naming all the appointed board members as of today. So it'd be yourself,
Tom Moore, Laguna de Luna, Miguel de Luna, and Brandon Hurst, and Laura Gordon,
and Julie Delahaye.
Julie, yes.
and Julie.
Okay. Do I have a second?
A second.
Seconded by, so I have a motion today for declaration of appointed board members in terms of appointment for Tom Moore, Miguel de Luna, Laura Gordon, Brandon Durst, and Julie Delahaye. And it was seconded by Trustee Warden. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. There's no opposition. Motion carries. Those forms will be provided to you guys each. I'll email each of your own, print them out, and we'll, next time we see each other, we'll just collect them and put them, scan them in, and get them done.
Okay.
The next item on the agenda is the administration of the oath, which we'll just, we'll do it through affirmation that we affirm that we will uphold the state of Idaho Constitution, the Constitution of the United States, and that we will faithfully proceed in our duties. So do we all affirm that?
Yeah, it's high for.
I affirm.
I affirm.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is the annual organization of the board. So what we have to do here is, now that we're an official entity, we actually have to do this. We've done it previously as a private organization, but we've never done it as an official entity. And so, or as a school board, as a public entity. So now that's what we're doing. So we have to go through this, and I serve as the chair to start off with, just because I have been the chair. If we want to, we can ask to have a temporary chair until such time as we nominate chair, but I just feel like I'll just keep doing it unless there's I'll make, without objection, I'll continue as the temporary chair through the nomination of the organization of the board. Is that acceptable? Okay, no objection, we'll do that way. So the first item under the organizational of the board is the nomination and election of a chair. And I'm gonna, do I have any nominations for chair?
I believe you do not want the position of chair.
I think that it would be better for Miguel de Luna to be the chair.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Just confirming, I nominate Miguel de Luna as chair.
Okay. Do I have any other nominations for chair? Seeing none, we can affirm by proclamation. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Congratulations.
Thank you.
You moved up a couple
So now,
steps.
Miguel, you take over the meeting.
Yeah,
Now it's your meeting.
Right.
So
Okay.
I'll help you go through this. We're gonna learn together.
Okay.
So now you're gonna take the nominations and election for vice chair. So you're gonna ask if there's any nominations.
Is there any nominations for vice chair?
yes. I move to be Brandon Hurst.
Okay. And then you say, are there any further nominations?
Are there any further nominations?
And then if you don't hear any,
Say none.
Say hearing none, we'll affirm by proclamation.
Hearing none, affirmed by proclamation.
Okay. So I am now elected the vice chair. Okay. And then the next thing
We
we'll
didn't
do-
vote? Oh, never mind.
We did it by proclamation, so we
Never
don't have to. The next piece is on the treasurer, so we'll do the same process.
We have any nominations for treasurer?
I would move Laura Ward, or I would move that Tom Moore be treasurer.
I second.
And then we ask if there's any further nominations.
Are there any further nominations?
Hearing
none,
we'll affirm by proclamation.
we'll affirm by proclamation.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and then the secretary, same thing.
Okay, any nominations for secretary?
I move Laura Ward, I nominate Laura Ward to be secretary.
I second it.
Okay, are there any other, any other,
Are there any additional nominations?
any additional nominations? Hearing none? I
You say by affirm by proclamation.
affirm by proclamation that Laura's secretary.
Say, then you call for the proclamation. So everybody says yes.
And
So we all say, then you say in all in favor.
all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
See, she even said aye for herself.
Good.
I mean, she's really committed.
She's really committed.
There it is.
She got it
And then we're
unanimous.
gonna do president too, because our bylaws calls for president. So
Okay. Nomination for president?
I would nominate Miguel de Luna as president. And that's my
Way to go, Miguel.
I will accept it. Any other further nominations for president? Seeing none, I affirm by
We
proclamation.
will affirm by a proclamation. Yeah.
We will affirm by proclamation. I
And you
can't
say
say that
all in
right.
favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And then affirm custodial of records. So
Let me explain what that is. That is, my mom just got into town. So she come to Boise, so she's coming through. That's why she'll give me a call. The custodial records, so we are a public entity, which means that we're subject to the Public Records Act for the state of Idaho. We have to have somebody, if we get a public records request, we have to have a custodian to whom is responsible for providing those those responsive records.
Okay.
Because I have all the records, I should probably be that person.
Yeah.
But if Laura wants to do it, I'm more than happy to give her access to all the Dropbox stuff and she can do it herself. But I'm happy to do it because I know where everything's at.
So
I hereby nominate Brandon to be custodial of information.
The Ministry of Truth is a better way of saying it.
there you go. Then, are there any other candidates? Seeing none? By proclamation, we affirm Brandon Durst as the custodial of records.
All in-
And then we have approval of signatures.
We didn't vote.
Okay, we need to vote on the last one.
Oh, I'm sorry. So,
Approval, you said approved by proclamation, all in favor.
approved by a proclamation. All in favor, say.
Aye.
And then, because we're doing a proclamation, so we're not asking for nays, we're just, okay. And then we're on the signatories.
Okay, so approve of signatories.
So just so you guys know what this is the people that are gonna sign on the bank account and all those, any legal documents that we have, like so for example, we have an example of the engagement letter, which is in the pack that, Tom has now.
Okay.
That's the people who are gonna sign on that. That should be the chair or president and the treasurer.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna move that the signatories for Brabeion Academy be Miguel De Luna and Tom Moore. And that's gonna require a second.
I second.
Okay. Are there any other?
So now we just go to discussion.
Oh, okay.
So then there's a discussion on the motion.
Is there any discussion on the motion?
Yes. Are we gonna have, I hope we're gonna have both signatures on checks.
We should. And we can
Just
talk about
clarify it.
Yeah.
Anything that deals with money, we should have two signatures.
I agree.
Cash, if we ever get petty cash, that should be two signatures,
Okay.
just so we're clear.
And then yes, for any further discussion.
As for any further discussion, seeing none, by
No, just say, no, we have to actually vote. So
Oh.
just ask for the yeas and nays. So all
okay.
in favor?
All in favor, say.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Those. What's the other?
All opposed?
All opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. Okay, approval of the meetings and schedule dates.
So we as a public entity have to have a predefined meeting schedule. So we now have our official annual meeting is in August, because that's when we're having this one.
Okay.
We can choose to change that and put it in January, but because we're not elected, it doesn't really matter, because the reason that most of the public school districts do it in January is because they have a trustee election in November, and the terms run to the end of December that they host. We don't have to worry about that, we can do it now. So what we're just gonna say, and this doesn't hold us in, is we just say, we can say the third Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. Or 6 p.m., whatever, which is what we're doing now.
Okay.
And then we'll update our bylaws to reflect that change, because our bylaws have a date and time certain. And then that way it's known to the public, when we're gonna meet.
Right.
Okay.
So I would recommend that we just do that. Is this the third Wednesday? I believe it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wednesday could be problematic with me, because I
Okay.
normally have a standard dinner engagements on Wednesday.
Okay. Is there a better day for
Monday
you?
would be better.
Mondays?
Okay, so which Monday? You want to do the third Monday or the,
Third Monday is fine, or second, whatever you want.
okay, let's do the second Monday. That
If
would
we're
be-
doing a meeting Monday, this coming Monday, is that gonna count for the next meeting?
We'll have it in September. That'll be for September.
I mean,
The meeting on Monday is just a presentation for us. That's not a board meeting.
okay,
So, so I'll move that we host our monthly meetings on the second Monday of each month. And that'll actually keep us out of the problem of maybe running into Christmas too.
Yeah.
Which is good.
maybe, yeah, also Thanksgiving.
All right, do I have a second?
A second.
Okay, and then you can ask for discussion.
Okay, any discussion?
What time? We should have a set time as well.
Let's say 6 p.m. Does that work for everybody?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And is it gonna be here?
We'll try to do it here. This is a good location, I think,
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
and it's free. So,
Is this until we get our own?
until we get our own
facility?
facility.
And then we'll be having it there.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Seeing none? Do a vote, not right?
Yeah, you just call for a vote.
Call for a vote. Excuse me, jeez. All in approval?
Aye.
Any,
Nays.
any nays? Seeing none. We move on to the next one.
Yep.
Approval committee assignments.
Okay, so we don't have to finalize this today, but what we should do is identify some standing committees that we want to have, and then assign people to those committees. So here's an example. We should have a finance committee. We should have a facilities committee. We should have a teacher, we should have a community outreach committee. We should have a curriculum committee. And we should have a fundraising committee. So those are 5 committees that we should have.
Say those again.
Agreed.
Finance, facilities, fundraising, community engagement, and curriculum. And we can change those. We're not locked into those. We can just, by motion, we can change whatever. Those are just could be our standing committees. Obviously, those are going to change once we become an actual, once we actually start enrolling, once we have operations started, right? Because then the things we need to be doing are different. But in this kind of pre-operating stage, it makes more sense to have those figured out.
So, point of discussion, I guess we're in discussion.
Yep.
Finance, I mean, all these committees, it's only 5 of us.
We'll probably want 2 people per committee.
Mhm.
And that way we can, if somebody's not available, we can still do it. So I would recommend, Tom, you be on on finance and facilities. We should always try to choose 2. And
I
then-
agree. I was thinking maybe 3, and that was gonna push us a little bit.
I agree.
And that's just between the 5 of us, correct?
Right.
Okay. Hey, Mom.
Hello.
All right. Just for the point of order, we have Director Delahaye has logged in, and she's going to join us remotely. We're on action item related to committee assignments.
Okay.
So we're doing committee assignments. These are the 5 committees: fundraising, finance, community engagement, curriculum, and facilities.
And we gave you a position for every one of them.
Yeah, and you're on all 5. No. Do you want to be on curriculum, Mom?
Yeah, I'll do curriculum. I was gonna say, if I'm on all 5, I submit my resignation. I can't do all of that. Are you kidding me?
Okay, so she'll do curriculum. I'm happy to be on all 5 just to kind of help keep
Well,
things
I
together.
think that would be for consistency. I think that would be great.
Yeah, I'll be on all 5. Laura, would you like to be on the curriculum and community engagement committees?
Yes.
And then, where do Miguel, do you want to be on the fundraising committee? And
Which 2 did you take?
Yes.
I did
And
curriculum.
is there anything else you want to
community
do?
Community engagement?
Okay, that's perfect. Yeah. All right, so here's how I have it listed right now. So Miguel will do fundraising and community engagement. Tom will do finance and facilities. Laura will do community engagement and curriculum. Julie will do curriculum, and I'll do all 5.
Okay, and did you say that Miguel was gonna do community outreach also?
He's doing community engagement and fundraising.
Okay,
And even if you're not on a committee, doesn't mean you can't help. It's just those are the ones that we're
okay.
primarily responsible for. And I'll do all 5. I'll just
And
kind
then
of.
Julie's
She's doing curriculum with you.
curriculum, okay.
So I'll make a motion with those committee assignments named. Do I have a second?
I so move.
Okay, seconded by Director Delahaye. Go ahead.
Is there any discussion? Okay, see no discussion, we'll vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it.
All right, that was easy.
We go, so now we're in the new business, action items.
Yep.
Approval of bylaws.
Okay, so I printed up a copy of our bylaws, I believe. Tom's got those. I would move there for their approval, with the one change being that they reflect the correct monthly meeting date as was just previously approved.
What's the monthly meeting date? Just for,
It'll be the second Monday of each month at 6 p.m.
okay, at a place,
It'll be here at this library until we have our facility.
okay. Thank you. I can put that on my calendar.
Does that work for you? Does that work for you guys?
Yeah.
Because we've already approved these bylaws, we're just updating them for this.
Yeah.
Do I have a second?
So move. Second.
Okay.
Is there any discussion on the bylaws? Seeing none, we'll take a vote. Those in favor of the bylaws?
Aye.
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 Those in opposed? Seeing none, bylaws, it passed. So approval of legal representation engagement. That's Chris
Chris Jorgensen.
Jorgensen.
And I have a copy of his engagement letter here, Mr. Chairman.
I have it.
It's a pretty standard issue. Chris is the go-to attorney for charter schools in the state of Idaho. He's on the Idaho State Charter Commission Association. He's the top attorney for charter schools. He's going to give us a deal so we don't have to pay much until we actually get funded from the state.
Okay, and what was his last name?
Jorgensen. It's on the agenda.
Okay.
So I would recommend I will tell you this, if we go, yeah, I guess we'll just leave it there. Chris is who I'd recommend that we engage with. It's a pretty standard contract,
Okay.
and we're not gonna find anybody who's gonna charge us less and do this kind of a job.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there any discussion?
I need to make a motion, actually.
No.
I would move that we, entered into engagement with Chris Jorgensen as Brabeion Academy Legal Counsel.
I second it.
Okay, any discussion?
No, Miguel, is it just to help you out? So you had 2 seconds at the same time to help your secretary out. Tell her which one you've chosen.
Okay.
So you'd say moved by Director Durst, seconded by so-and-so, because then she can write it down easily.
Okay, moved by Director Durst.
And then seconded by whoever's, because Tom and Julie both tried to second it, so you can just say whoever.
And seconded by Tom Moore.
Tom wins that one.
Yay.
All right, and then you can ask for discussion.
Any discussion on the legal representation? Okay. Okay, we'll take a vote. Those in favor of approving legal representation engagement by Chris Jorgensen, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Seeing none, the ayes win. Approval and delegation of bank account creation.
So this is where we just need to legally say who's gonna create our bank. And so I would move that we would designate our treasurer and our board president and chair to create our bank account at an institution of their choosing, and that we would further direct them that all checks require both their signatures
Or cash withdrawals.
or cash withdrawal.
Can
Any.
I make a suggestion on that? I just did this with my HOA, and one of the things this was well started, but one of the things that they suggested is that they have what they call kind of executive members who can actually make changes on the account, and then they have another signer in case for some reason an executive member like Tourette at this HOA I'm part of, one of the members passed away, so
Yeah.
we didn't have enough signature people.
Yeah, that's what my motion does, is it makes the treasurer the primary designee, and then Miguel's the secondary designee.
Sounds good.
Is there a second? And then you have to call for a second.
So, really, really quick.
Hold
So-
on.
So,
Just as a procedure, just so we kind of make sure we're doing this right.
Is
I
there-
made a motion.
Oh.
He has to ask for a second before I should have stopped her too, but before we go on to discussion, he needs to ask for a second to make sure there's something to discuss.
Is there a second?
I so moved.
I do.
Oh,
I'll second it.
okay, so
Now you say I have a motion by Director Durst, a second by,
I have a motion by Director Durst and a second by, was it Tom Moore?
or either way.
Yeah, Tom Moore. And now I call for vote.
No, you can ask for discussion.
Oh,
Now we discuss.
is there any discussion?
okay, now I just lost my train. of
Sorry,
thought.
Laura.
No, that's okay.
I want to make sure we're doing this in the right order.
So to be clear, I'll be the primary signee and then Miguel can sign as the second signee if I'm not there.
Correct,
That's what it was.
And we're also appointing both of us to make changes to the bank account.
correct.
Okay.
So that
Because
was what
as
my
a treasurer,
question.
you should have that authority.
So the
Right.
signers are Tom and
Miguel.
Miguel.
Tom or Miguel, not
Tom
in,
or Miguel? Okay.
not in. That would require 2 signatures per check.
Yeah, you don't do that. That's a pain in the rear. Because then you can't do things unless you can both get together at the same time.
Okay, so now is
So we're discussing, you can ask for further discussion.
there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll take a vote. Those in favor of the delegation of bank account creation administered by?
You can just, all in favor of the motion is all you got to say.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
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 Bye.
Anybody in oppose? None. So the ayes have it. Next is the approval of the reimbursement for IRS application.
So, Mr. Chairman, what this is
Can I say, Brandon, can I make a motion?
sure, of course you can.
Okay. So that you're not on all the emotions. I can do this one. If you want me to.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I make a motion that we do an approval for reimbursement for the IRS application that has been submitted, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay,
I'd like to amend that. I think you have another expense here somewhere.
I have several expenses, but that was the only one I'm asking for today.
So you don't want to combine them all in one day?
I didn't provide documentation for all of them today. The only receipt that I provided was the one for the IRS.
I thought you sent a printing one?
I have the Staples one, I
Yeah,
have this
I have
one,
the
I
Staples.
have the monthly bill that I pay for our PO box that we use, and I have our monthly email thing that I pay for, and our monthly
Okay.
web hosting that I pay for. But I'm happy to provide that at the next meeting. This is the big one. Those,
Julie?
Oh, okay, I just wanted to have a point of order that we needed a second, so we could talk about all the other stuff.
oh yeah, we need a second.
Do we have a second?
A second.
Go ahead, Julie, second.
No, Laura seconded,
Laura, I'm sorry.
and Julie made motion.
Yes, and Julie made the motion.
Now you can talk about it, right?
Yeah. No, we say any further discussion.
Any further discussion? Seeing none?
No.
Seeing none? Those in favor?
I'm
Say
gonna
aye.
abstain from this vote, just so you can make that down. I'm abstaining from this vote because I'm getting reimbursed.
And I think it's $800.
Huh?
It's $800, I remember, right?
It's 600.
600.
Those in favor, say aye.
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 Those in oppose? Seeing none, move on to the next one. That's facilities. Do we have to take that by 1, 2, and 3, or?
We can do them one at a time. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
So you can't, excuse me, Brandon, we can't put all of the facilities under one motion, you have to do them separately? those three?
we could do them separate. We could do them all together, but I think it'd be cleaner from a minute standpoint if they're all separate.
Okay, just checking.
We could technically because we're gonna be talking about multiple things. So it'd be just cleaner. So I would move that we bring this issue to I would move that we bring approval of commercial real estate representation to the floor. So we're not approving anything right now. We're just bringing it to the floor for discussion.
It's just a discussion item.
Well, we can make a motion after that, but that's all I'm doing for now. Because Tom's been doing the due diligence on that, so I just want to make sure.
I would say, can we, just agree to have it be, maybe an approval item next time so that we don't have to get bogged down in all of that?
We have to get this approved. Like, this has to start, because we need to start negotiating.
Okay.
This is due by March 31st. So
Yeah,
this is
we
the
have to
most
get-
pressing one.
Okay, then never mind.
So my motion is to bring it to the table for discussion.
So I gotta
I
get
got it.
a second.
Yeah, give it a second.
Is there a second?
One second.
Okay,
I
Tom
did.
Moore?
Oh, Jane.
Oh, sorry.
I keep beating her, but I won't do that anymore.
He's beating her. All right.
I'm just doing
Okay,
that.
so then you can break. Now we're having discussion. So I would just yield to Tom on whatever Tom's learned from his discussions he's had.
So, bring me up to speed what we did with the 3 schools in Napa that were available. You said there was 3.
So we have 3 options. One of them is better than the others. Obviously, what we're currently discussing is whether or not we want to have a real estate
I
representative.
understand that.
Yeah. So I guess the real question is if we feel like that's necessary.
The purpose of that question is, did the school tell you they had a real estate agent representing them?
They don't. So when I talked to the school district about potentially using their building, they told me there's another tenant that's in there that's only using a very small part of the building. And so when I had the conversation with that trustee, it was left with basically, if our first option isn't available, we'll come back and talk to you. Because it would definitely be a temporary solution, and it would be really maybe a year or 2 at the most. So from my perspective, it's not worth pursuing unless we have to, because we know it exists and we know there's no one else asking to use it.
Right.
So I would rather we.
Here's a point I'd like to make.
Okay.
In part of my career, Sony came to me and wanted 400,000 square feet of industrial space. There wasn't a 400,000 square fully, but there was 500, around 100 each. So when we went out, we said we had a requirement for 100,000 feet, got proposals from all 5, and we got some very, very competition between the 4 trying to win, 5 trying to win the contract.
Yeah.
And we surprised everybody when we leased 4 of them. So I know you're down the road with the Macy building, but I think we need to make sure that they're really want to come to the table and they know that we're pursuing other options.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need them to know that we have other options, and I don't think there's anything wrong with being transparent and be like, look, you'd be our first choice because you're obviously the best fit. But if you come to us with a number that doesn't work,
what we're trying to use is leverage here.
I understand.
And that's been my theory throughout negotiations.
Yeah.
Find something that we can draw 2 or 3 people against to get their very best possible deal.
Yeah.
So in order to do that, I think as a facility people, and I think that was going to be you and me,
Yeah.
we should both of us review the best choice at Napa schools and see where they're going to come from.
Yeah.
And what they want.
Yeah.
And so we can discuss that if we have to with the Colliers.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Do you have, Tom? You had a conversation with Ben Fulcher.
I did.
Do you feel comfortable with using him?
Well, here's a point I'd like to make. Probably this size of a transaction is probably a 4% commission, not a 6 is normal. So it'd be 2 to the outside and 2 to the representative, 2 to the landlord and 2 to the tenant.
Yeah.
So if we don't choose anybody to represent us and just use my expertise and the attorney,
Yeah.
we can say we want another 2% off the price.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm fine with that. And I think I don't think we have to get a representative. I just think we need to decide.
We just have to tell them up front that we're representing ourselves, so
Yeah.
that agent doesn't think he's
Yeah.
representing us in the land.
Yeah, I think
With the schools, that's not a problem.
Yeah. I agree. I don't have a problem with us representing ourselves in this. I think that we have the ability. We can do a triple net rate lease just as well as anybody else. If we're going to go to buy, we can do that.
Well, first of all, it won't be a triple net. It'll be a double net at most. Taxes and maintenance. I mean, insurance and maintenance.
Yeah, because there's no property tax.
There's no property tax.
Yeah, right.
So all leases are all triple net, so you're gonna have to modify the lease extensively to remove all that out.
Well, as long as we're the named party, then we can ask for the tax exemption as
Right.
a school.
What else? I guess that's it. I would recommend we don't have representation for our
Okay.
side.
That's fine. And we don't have to take action, just so you guys know. We just if that's what we think is best, we can just kind of move on.
And we can always change it.
We can always change it.
Right.
Yep. Okay, that works for me.
Okay.
All right, so let's move on.
So let me see. The second is so the next is approval of facility committee to commence negotiations. Do we have any discussion on that?
So I just think it's important for us to get moving on hitting this hard. My communications with Colliers has been that we would have this motion tonight, and then our facilities committee would reach out to them and start scheduling meetings to start figuring out details.
Yeah, just furnish me the name. I'll contact them tomorrow morning if we make this motion.
Yeah, and I can get you the name of the main person there.
Colliers.
Yeah, Colliers. Because I do think so. The conversation's going to be around what we were just talking about, whether or not it's a lease or whether or not it's a purchase. And when we get into the finance item of this agenda, I can share more about what we have in terms of finances that could be helpful, and I'll share more about that. But the facilities team, if a motion is made and it's approved, then what you're doing is you're delegating that authority to Tom and I to act on behalf of the board. And then obviously any final decision has to be approved by the board, but you're giving us the authority to make preliminary negotiations. And it should not be a motion by Tom and I because we're on the committee. So you guys
So I can make the motion.
you can.
Okay.
You're the chair.
Sure.
You're not allowed
So I'll just say, I'll make a motion
to approve the finance committee to begin negotiations.
to approve the finance committee to begin negotiations.
Can I second it this time?
Yes, you can, because Tom can't do it.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
And then any further discussion?
Any further discussion? And then we'll seeing none. We'll go
Get to vote.
Get to vote. All those that approve.
Aye.
Aye.
I,
Okay. Any disapproval? Seeing none. Motion passes. So financing options.
Okay. So let me kind of have Mr. Chairman, this is going to take just a couple minutes to explain, but
Okay.
the state of Idaho has a law that allows charter schools, specifically just charter schools, a facilities fund. You have to use it within your first 2 years of operation or during your pre-operation year. So it's a really short window for when you can use this.
Okay.
What it does is it creates it's a special fund. There's $50 million in it, and what it does is it will fund every dollar of your facilities, and then you can add a little bit more. It's my understanding for pre-operations costs as well, to buy a facility. To be able to qualify for that, you have to have earned $1 million in competitive grants. So it's not a matter of getting $1 million from donors. It's got to be a competitive grant. That's the hardest thing to do. And especially for us, because we're late in the grant cycle, that's going to be hard. Now, I will tell you, I've reached out to Balloon because they're the administrators of the CSP grant, and they're going to do another fall. They're going to do a fall grant award cycle too. And the U.S. federal government just gave another $60 million to the state of Idaho, I believe, for charter schools. I can't remember the exact number. It was a big number, specifically for charter schools, which will go to this grant. So we could ask for $1 million. And if we get awarded that, that will go to the conversations that Tom and I have in these negotiations. Because if we're in a position to buy, that changes the conversation a lot.
Right. But we don't know when we're gonna have that.
Right, so that's why I think if
We need to do a two-step approach.
Exactly, and we can know that.
Work really very hard on the lease transaction and the purchase
And
agreement.
then we can have a clause within that.
Oh, no, we'll have a separate agreement. We have an option agreement, or we have an agreement that says we have an option to lease under the terms of the negotiating of the lease, or we have the option to
To buy.
purchase.
Yeah, right.
And under the terms of the purchase
Yeah,
contract.
right. Yeah, so that's one option for financing. The other option is there's several national groups that give money. Tom and I will have a conversation next week with a group called EFF, and they provide funding for charter schools. The benefit of the IHFA program is that their interest rate is subprime, 3 or 4%.
So it's not a grant, it's a loan.
It's a loan,
Okay.
but it's a 3 or 4% interest rate, and there's no and the requirements to be approved for that are just showing that we have enrollment or we have interest in enrollment, and then we have a business plan that we can do a pro forma on and all that stuff. So you don't have to show any financial track record.
So in our budget, we didn't have any money for interest.
Correct. Well, no, we do. It's it's included in the total lease payment.
Okay. So
It is.
Okay.
So we can still hit that number. So that's one option is the IHFA program the state has created. The second option is to go through an independent private lender. These are called CDFIs. And these are community developed financial institutions that create funding specifically for stuff. These are also federally protected. They get federal money to loan out to charter schools and other.
So they're getting federal money directly to loan out. It's like
Correct.
an SBA.
Yeah,
Small
exactly.
Business Administration.
Pretty much,
Okay.
yeah. So EFF is one example. Building Hope is another. EFF finally got back to me. Once Tom and I communicate after this, we can have a conversation about pursuing that. Because that could be another. Just as a point of reference, leasing is going to cost us more over time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So it would be if we can buy, it'll save us a lot of money. And then we actually have something, which is helpful. So I just want to make sure everybody kind of had a grasp of a kind of high level view of what the options were. And then Tom and I will get into those in more detail later. So there's no action item on this. Just want to make sure.
Probably in the future, we probably have this discussion in executive committee versus open committee.
Only if we're negotiating.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You're not going to give it to anybody, but say one of the owners wants to see what we talked about.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
would hear what we're talking about
Yeah.
right now.
All right, so then we can move on.
Okay, so next on the agenda, approval and delegations to engage in partnership outreach. So
I mean, I'm on this committee, but I'll just move that we delegate and approve to engage in partnership outreach with our engagement for our community engagement team, and that we would. Well, gosh, how do I want to do this? I'm going to withdraw my motion. Let me explain what I'm thinking. We're going to have to start doing some smaller fundraising to pay for advertising to get people to sign up for our school. I think we're going to hit a decent number with word of mouth by itself, but we're going to need to record a video or 2 or 3. I mean, I'd like to see one where we have one with Laura talking to homeschool families. I'd like to have one with Miguel talking to Spanish-speaking families, and just kind of go through that a bit so we can start advertising more deliberately.
right.
And then we need to start. I was telling my wife that we need to buy campaign signs, yard signs, and we need to put them at the entrance to all of the sports complexes in the area. Like,
Do you have to get approval to do that
from who?
from the people that have the sports complexes?
No, because they're on public right of way. There's public right of way easement near them all.
Right.
Okay.
If we put them actually on their complex, yes, we would. Like Simplot, for example, there's on Yamhill, there's that giant T that everybody comes to they stuck out for 20 minutes. You put one there, you put one on Lake Forest, every soccer player in the state is going to see it coming in and out. And we just need some giant yard signs that say, sign up for our school.
Yeah.
But we need to have money to be able to do that. So at this point, I guess we don't have money to pay for that. And maybe this has to be something once we get a little bit of fundraising done. I'll do it this way. I'm in a motion that we approve and delegate to engage in partner outreach, and that we authorize the community engagement team to spend up to $1,000 at the point at which we have at least $1,500 in our bank account with all liabilities paid. Does that make
Say that
sense?
again.
So what I'm saying is that we're authorizing the spending of up to $1,000 by our community engagement team at a point at which we have all liabilities paid and we have $1,500 in the bank.
A minimum of 15.
$1,500. So that way we go down to $500, but that would keep.
$500.
Yeah.
Got it.
Does that work?
Do we have a second?
I so second.
Okay, Tom Moore seconds. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, we can vote on it.
Yep.
Those in favor,
Aye.
say aye.
Aye.
And what, for that.
For my motion that we allow the community engagement team to spend $1,000 if they have the money and they can't spend it.
I approve. With you.
Those that are opposed, seeing none, we'll move to the next. That's approval and delegation to solicit a chaplain.
Okay, so Brandon, here's my question. How does that fit into the separation of church and state?
Because the House of Representatives has a chaplain in the state legislature. Other school districts have a chaplain.
Okay, just making sure, because that's gonna come up.
Yeah, it's allowed to happen, but we have to do it early to show that it's a standard business practice.
Oh,
Talked about that before. I remember that. Okay.
Just like we opened this meeting with an invocation. So I'm gonna move that we task our board president with selecting a chaplain.
So
okay.
moved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a second, Julie?
Well, we had a second before.
I moved and she seconded it.
Yeah.
Nobody had a second before that.
No,
Okay.
I moved it. Then she seconded it.
Okay.
Okay, so then, excuse me. Is there any
Miguel's
other?
trying to give us COVID over here.
No, just
I don't
getting over a
believe in
Good.
stupid cough.
Doesn't worry.
Is there any other discussion? No, seeing none, we'll vote. All in approval, say aye.
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 Any opposed? None.
So yeah, you go find a chaplain.
I'll find chaplain.
All they have to do is do the invocation.
Yeah.
That's it.
I prefer a strong Baptist.
So we leave it to Miguel.
I'll get that. So,
He becomes the padre.
yeah. Other business, review of IPCSC's authorization conditions.
I guess I'll take this too, because
We don't know what you're talking about.
yeah. So these are the conditions of our authorization that we just need to be aware of. So we have to have a facility in place by March 31st.
Oh, okay.
We have to have our budget balanced by June 1st. And we have to have, and I think those are the two main conditions, won't they?
When
Well,
was
the
the
enrollment.
facility? March.
Enrollment.
Enrollment was the third one.
But she said that would be covered with the facility, with the break-even budget.
Right.
Oh, we had to have financing for the pre-operations, and then we had to have a break-even budget for the following year based on enrollment.
Okay, so real quick,
Yeah.
backtrack. The facility needs to be by what, March?
I think it's March 1st.
March 1st, okay.
I don't think it was the 31st. I think it was March 1st.
I think it was March 1st, and I thought she said July 1st.
June.
Or June
June.
1st?
Mhm.
For the, what was that for?
For us to show that we have pre-operation funding and that we have enough enrollment to be able to be break even for the following year, for the school year. Now, there's some ways that you could say that we're break even. If we have a lot of Title I kids, for example, we don't have to get to 475. We can get to like 450 because the Title I funding will come in and it'll supplement our other budget. But think we're gonna be at capacity, so I'm not really worried about that. Looking at our current enrollments, interest enrollment forms that have been submitted, the grade level I was most concerned about was the 8th, and it's got the second most or the third most people already. So I'm not worried about it. I think we'll fill it out. So I just want to make sure we're all keeping our eye on those 3 targets, because those are the 3 most important targets we have.
Is the facility,
At least to start with.
facility and operation funding and enrollment,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
So all of our committee assignment work should be focused on one of those things.
Okay. So
Yeah.
so now we,
But there's no action items on this stuff.
okay.
So it's just discussion for all of us to know.
And then, funding, discussion?
Fundraising.
Fundraising discussion.
You've done a lot of it already, Brandon.
Yeah, we
I
have.
think-
So Tom connected with somebody yesterday, a gal. This isn't going to provide dividends anytime soon, hopefully, for her sake and her husband's sake. But we're being considered for being written into her trust as a planned giving.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
And it would probably be a pretty sizable amount of money. So there's that. But that's not going to help us today, but it's something to be excited about for the future.
Yeah, it is.
So Tom and I are going to meet with her next week for lunch, and her husband. And then I've reached out. We need to get some sponsorships for different things, and so I think our fundraising committee can work on that to figure out. That's me and Miguel. We'll have it. We can meet heads and stuff and kind of figure out who to reach out to in terms of different groups that might want to give us a sponsorship.
Do we have any ideas of certain type of groups that we should be reaching out to?
I think we definitely want to reach out to sporting goods stores, for example. Dick's would be a great place to go to. I think we should reach out to apparel providers. So I'm going to hope we can get money from Adidas, or at least the very least they can give us a reduction in cost for stuff to being a guarantee. Because these guys like to have exclusive agreements with groups, so they can be like, you're an Adidas school, and then they know that all this, or Nike school or Under Armour.
Are we gonna have, are there uniforms or dress codes or anything?
That'll be a conversation we have to have later.
Okay,
I think we should,
okay,
And- but
there's a company in Emmett that I was working for, they're a print shop, so. I don't know, you might-
they could logo our stuff. I mean, to
That
me,
might be an option, I don't know.
yeah, to me, I would like to see. I mean, we can talk about this more later, but
Okay.
we're an athletic school. I'd like to have us all have Adidas sweatpants and Adidas t-shirts on, so that the kids are always,
Or whoever sponsors
Right.
it.
or whatever apparel company sponsors us, so we're ready to go, and everybody goes and they all have the same Adidas or whatever
Right.
sweatpants and same shirts, and
Right.
then if we give them for
But
free,
you-
that really helps the low income kids, so they're not
Right.
feeling like they're out of it.
Okay.
But we can have that conversation. I didn't want to put that on the plate this week, but that is something we're going to want to have a conversation about for sure.
Okay.
Grants, that's going to be a huge piece for this, especially if we want to get the IHFA money. There's a CSP grant, which I've already mentioned. That's the big one. Obviously, the Albertsons Foundation has a grant. The Walton Family Foundation has a grant. There's some other grants that we might be able to look into. But the CSP grant is the big one. And when we get that information, we may have to call a special meeting to approve the application.
What does CSP stand for?
The Continuing Community Schools Program, I think is what I can't remember exactly. It's a federal program.
Oh, okay.
That's where all the federal funds that come to support charter schools go to.
Okay.
But that's the big one. And because there's not any new charter schools,
We're
like
the only one in the
we are
pipeline.
the new charter school. Like,
Okay.
we're gonna get access to some money that otherwise it's not gonna be as competitive, because we're really the only option at this point.
That's
So
great.
And the money goes away at the end of the year.
Yeah.
If it's not
Yeah.
granted.
So that's the grant. That's the big grants. But I would just encourage everybody, to the extent you have time, see if you can find grants that we can apply for and start getting after it, because we need to get the money in.
Okay.
And then individual donations, and I think the fundraising team, we can talk about what that's gonna look like, kind of going to talk to people. And obviously, if you feel like you can help with that, just even if you're not on the committee, just help us. Because we gotta raise roughly $1 million to be able to pay for our pre-op budget.
Did we get the tax exempt status?
We have that. We won't have it, but my understanding is that we applied on June 18th, June 15th, whatever it was, sometime in June. The IRS is super behind. But what I've been told is, even if they don't approve us this calendar year, it will be based on the date in which we applied, so it'll be retroactively applicable. So anybody who applies can know with certainty that if they're giving to us, that we will become a 501c3 organization for this current tax year, and that giving can be deducted. But we may not be approved till next, February or March.
And so people who donate will get the deduction in 2026?
They can still get it in 2025.
Provided we're done by tax filing time.
We can, because we know it'll be retroactively approved. I actually looked into that yesterday, because I was thinking about that. I'm like, oh crap, why haven't they even done anything with our thing? And I looked online. It said from the applications they had received by December 31st of last year, the average time to complete was 191 days. All applications that had been submitted after December 31st have not yet been reviewed. And then I read further guidance that said if your organization fits in a certain box, which ours does,
It'll be approved.
it'll be approved, but it just may take a while. But it'll be approved retroactively. So the $1,000 you're putting into the bank account, Tom, that's deductible.
I understand, but
For big givers, they're going to want to know they can,
yeah,
but we can tell them that
I'm not thinking about myself. Somebody wants to donate 20 or 30 grand.
Yeah.
We want to ensure that they do.
And we'll be able to tell them, we can show them here's the application, like it's going to be approved, it'll be retroactive to this date, and we can give them our EIN to use as the donation, because that's the number they're going to have.
Is our EIN as a 50C?
It will be, because that was what was used as for the application.
Okay. I can give the EIN really quick, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay,
Then,
let's move on.
family recruitment discussion. I think we covered that, didn't we?
Well, that's mostly just, hey, we got to start getting out, making videos, putting signs out, getting on Facebook, doing all the things, because that's
Right.
if we get a grant for some reason, the only way the grant's going to work is if we show that we have the enrollment.
Okay.
The way we're getting IHFA funding is to show, yeah, we got 500 kids.
Back to recording. Go ahead.
Brandon, if you need help with that, I did a lot of board policies.
Yeah, I will. What I'm thinking is we'll just go through the 1,000 series and the 2,000 series, and we'll just kind of adopt them one at a time.
Okay.
And then, but I just want to kind of let everybody know is just to kind of keep an eye on that. It's not a huge priority, but we need to have it adopted before we have our lottery.
Right.
So,
I'm happy to help you with that.
yeah.
I have a question, just a quick one.
Yeah.
This has always irritated me, all the schools, is that you always have kids that can't pass the grade.
Mm-hmm.
And there always the theory is, okay, we'll pass him because next year the teacher will give him more time to catch him up. And that never occurs. And that's how you get a 70 or 60%, 40% pass rate for graduation.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts on that policy, especially what Julie thinks? And the rationale has always been told, in fact, Principal Doug told me that was the official policy of the West Ada. It was only done because the stigmatism the child would have for not passing the grade would affect him for life.
Yeah. So there's the policy is called social promotion. And there has been a lot of research. When it came out in the 90s, the idea was you're going to ostracize this child socially if you hold them back. There's been a lot of research that's shown that you're doing more harm than good for that kid, because they begin to take their inability from an academic standpoint starts to take a toll on them from a self-esteem perspective, because they realize that they're the quote-unquote dumb kid. and that's hard. So I think from a board policy standpoint, this is something we're gonna wanna deal with this. This is a big issue. But one of the things that I think that kind of should drive that conversation is how do we utilize a really unique model to promote better remediation techniques so these kids don't get that far behind.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we want to socially promote, but you don't want to have a hard and set policy that says you never do either. Because there's going to be kids on the margins who'll be, maybe they're not meeting grade level proficiency, but if you hold them back, it really will take a hit on their self-esteem and they'll start to plummet. And then there's kids who'll be like, okay, maybe they're emotionally not ready to move forward, so their academics are suffering. But that's going to be a conversation I think we need to have kind of more diligently at a time where we can say, do we want to have a hard and fast rule, or is that something we want to leave to administration to decide and say, you know what, maybe what you say is we do not promote all students. We do not hold all students back. Our policy is that we're going to uniquely look at each child and analyze with the input of our administration and our staff what the best approach is for that specific child.
Right, and honestly, my opinion, I'm actually not a fan of grade levels at all, because I feel like grade levels, which I know we can't do that in a public charter school, but grade levels put a stigma, on children, like, oh, you're only at this grade level, and really grade levels don't have any. I mean, you might have a kid at third grade reading level, but high school math. I mean, it just really is kind of, and it makes the kids feel like they're not smart, or they're not at grade level, and it's like, it just really doesn't have any bearing, but that's just my opinion. I had something else I was going to say along the lines about whether or not, like, holding kids back or what, but I'll circle back around to that because I can't remember.
Yeah, we just need further discussion.
Yeah, we definitely,
Yeah,
that is going to be a big policy discussion. Yeah, I totally agree. But I just wanted, the main reason I put this on the agenda was just so that you guys would be thinking ahead, like this is going to be something we're going to have to go through. And it takes a lot of time to go through and get these policies approved, because we have to go through reading calendars and things on them to be able to get them done. But I want to start doing that next month so that we can start doing, I'm thinking we'll probably do 3 series at a time. And that's got like 30 or 40 policies in each series.
Yeah.
And some of them are really straightforward, like
Very simple.
very straightforward
Right,
stuff.
but
And some of them are going to be a little more, we're going to want to dial in and be like,
we're going to have to change it.
yeah, we're going to have to change stuff.
It's a standard, right?
I mean, I do know too that like in some schools, like when my mom was teaching at a private Christian school, like there really wasn't any holding any kids back. They would just move kids up to the grade level that they would be in. But if they were struggling in a certain thing, then they would do like an independent curriculum for that student.
Yeah.
So that they didn't get left behind from all of their classmates.
Yeah.
So that's an option too.
Yep.
Okay. Liability insurance discussion?
So we are a board. When you're acting on behalf of the board, when we get insurance, we will, your actions will be protected by that insurance. As long as they're on behalf of as long as you're not acting outside of the purview of your role. Right?
Gross negligence and other things.
So like defamation, for example, or whatever. I mean, we're probably not going to have that problem, but it's just something to be aware of, to be wise for, because of the kind of litigious society that we're in. And so there are some options for liability insurance that we can use, and I can, talk to you guys offline more about what those might be, and you can apply for them individually. And there's some free options too, that I've signed up for myself. But then we're going to need to have a conversation the next month or two about asking iCrimp for how much they would charge, and then I can get other companies for the liability insurance, and then when we get a facility, getting that insurance too.
Okay.
So that'll have to happen pretty quick once we have a facility too. So
I do have to leave shortly.
Do we
we're
have
almost one last item. So
Okay.
do we have a nomination for adjournment?
motion for I move. Adjourn.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Alrighty.
We are adjourned.
Back to recording. Go ahead.